The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Missy K Show. Missy K Show. Missy K Show. Questions, interviews, gossip, current news, movie, TV, radio, here we go, hey, you see Missy K, hey, you see Missy K, her beauty and passion, talk music, passion.
Welcome to the E. Missy K's Loose Lip Show. I'm your girl, E. Missy K, and over here...
Oh, my turn. Okay. You know, she always starts at the end of the section. But it's your girl, Haley B.
And I'm Lala.
And I'm Lady D's.
And we have a fire show for y'all today.
Yes.
So, ladies, we have a politician in the house.
Oh.
So we got to be on our best behavior.
Oh, man.
What you trying to say?
We have to be on our best behavior.
We're always on our best behavior.
Yeah, right. We have Leslie Hagan Morgan. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
He is running for the 59th District Assemblyman's
Okay.
position.
Woo.
Sweet.
Yes.
Nice.
So just so you guys know, we do not endorse, but we support all artists.
Yes.
And every walks of life. And so
Absolutely.
we're going to hear what he has to say. We're going to get to know him before you guys vote for him, if that's what you choose to do. And we also have another Skype interview. We have Brandy Kirby J. She's going to be interviewed by Lala Young today during What's on Everyone's Lips.
Yes.
So, Lala, do you?
Okay. How is everyone doing?
Fantastic and above.
Okay.
Check.
So,
I'm good.
yeah, you good? I like those earrings.
You can't
I
just
need
fall in
those.
line.
I want those. So,
Thank you.
first we're going to talk about this fire challenge. So there's this young lady, she's 12 years old in Michigan, and the
12.
challenge is to set yourself on fire and videotape it.
What the heck? I mean, what?
That's almost as bad as that Kiki challenge, people jumping back in their cars. That is dumb.
See, now you can go like a mile per hour on
Knock it
that
off.
one. So
Knock
you
it
gotta
off.
drench
You're not condoning that.
yourself.
Where is her mother?
She was at work. So she said if she wouldn't have gotten home when she did, the baby would have been dead because she has like third degree burns. So she's going to be a long process for her to recover. Second and third degree burns.
She was at home by herself?
12?
12?
Yeah, she's fine.
That's legal.
Yeah, she's okay. But you ain't...
That's just dumb.
When you're
But it's legal.
not thinking about setting yourself on fire. Where'd she get that?
Right.
There's
The
something
worst
terribly wrong with this whole
The worst
picture.
I'm thinking about leaving my kids at home by themselves is putting some aluminum foil in the microwave.
Right.
You know, but not set
Right.
yourself on fire.
Exactly. It's insane. So they're doing a lot of crazy challenges.
So was
This
it on
is-
video? Did people see it?
Well, they didn't actually see it. They didn't know. She just knew what was going on when she got this.
But it wasn't video? That was the
It
whole
wasn't.
purpose, right?
That was the whole purpose of it. So she probably didn't even get
Oh,
a
okay.
chance
Because
to
I'm
do
saying
all
'cause I don't want some other fool, following suit.
Well, they have these different challenges that's on Instagram, social media that everyone is doing just to get these likes and stuff. But
You just had to set your hand.
there-
I'm gonna
to
kill
set your hand
myself
on
for likes.
fire.
Exactly.
It basically you have to put your hand on fire and see if the fire holds, and then put it out quickly.
She set her whole body on fire.
That girl is crazy.
She probably didn't read the directions.
She's more than
She didn't
crazy.
read the directions on that one.
Lala said she didn't read the
She
directions.
didn't get the memo.
She didn't read the directions. Hey,
I'm like, that's
what you
stupid.
supposed to do first?
What if you have on a flammable outfit?
Look, us millennials.
She probably had a weave, huh?
I think us millennials get so tired of the 90s kids talking about us. We just want to show y'all something. We on fire.
Okay.
Shut it down.
Literally, you're on fire.
Did not say that.
What else we got, Lala?
Another thing, there's a gentleman, his name was Rocco. He actually was in, where was he? I'm so sorry, in North Hills, and he was playing his little prank, which he wanted to see how many times he can call or yell out the N-word to see what someone was going to do. So he kept doing it, and one of these bars that he was at, he actually was kicked out. But there was one where he approached this young gentleman that was 24, and he actually stabbed him. He stabbed him in the neck, and he actually died. So,
Lala, is this your version of Jackass? Because you got some of the stupidest people
but wait.
in the news today.
Wait.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's full of... But wait. So who got stabbed? The one that was the hollering the N-word? Or
the black guy. He approached a young black guy that was 24 and stabbed him in the neck, and he died.
He stabbed the black guy?
Yes, he did. He did. And then the crazy thing is he thought that he can ask the police officer in the car for a ride home, but the police officer had already knew who he was and what was going on, so they arrested him. So he is arrested.
Wait, how could he ask for a ride home if he just killed somebody?
Yeah, well,
actually,
but that's what he did. That's exactly what he did, though.
I think this is what he's snitching on himself.
Pretty much. And it was in Pittsburgh, but that's what he did. So they have a GoFundMe up to collect money for the gentleman.
For the guy that passed.
For the guy that passed.
I need you to clarify.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, his name is Cameron.
Okay. Sorry, Cameron. Prayers to your family and friends. What else we got?
Well, pretty much that's we're waiting for our interview with Brandy. Is Brandy on? Is she gonna?
Yes.
Come on now. Whoa, hey, Brandy.
We need headphones.
Do we need headphones?
Yes, we do.
Can you?
Hello.
Okay, so while we wait to
we get it together.
Brandy J, are you still muted? What's going on here? See, this is what happens when you have a live show. Oh, there we go.
Are you there, Brandy?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
loud and clear. How are you doing?
Sorry, this is my first time on Skype, so I was like,
well, okay. Well, we have the owner, editor-in-chief of Lux Magazine. Also, the CEO and founder of Brandy Curvy J. We have been dealing with you for so long.
Yes.
I do want to say how proud I am of you because you are definitely making a difference in the community. And for those who do not know you, can you please explain to everyone what it is you exactly do for the young ladies and the older ladies as well?
Yes. Well, I am a body positive advocate, and I started Lux Curves Magazine. Will be 3 in October, 3 years ago, because what I wanted to do was to show curvy plus size women in an elegant way. And I just got tired of them thinking we didn't have a lifestyle, like we do nothing. And that's why I started Lux Curves Magazine, and will be 3 in October. And then I launched my own talk show, the Lux Curves TV with Brandy J, and then we renamed it to the Brandy J Talk Show. Nice. Because it was really important for me, for young black girls, to see, for one, a curvy woman on front of the camera and doing her thing, and that was really important for me to for them to see.
I think that we first got introduced to you back when we were in Rancho Cucamonga, when we first started ourselves 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I believe you were doing a fashion show back then.
Exactly.
Yes, I was doing New York Fashion Plus. I am the creator and founder of New York Fashion Week Plus, which is the first ever fashion show during New York Fashion Week for plus size women. I did that in 2015.
Yeah.
And launched Lux Curves magazine, and then we did Lux Curves Fashion Night in 2016 in LA.
That's wonderful.
You also have a book called Curvy Secret of Unshakable Confidence. How is that going?
It's been a process of writing it, but I finally got done with it, but I'm still adding to it. So it's the Unshakable Curvy Confidence, and what it's about is basically, people always ask me, how did I get my confidence? And this book tells them basically how I got it. Being a survivor, a domestic violence survivor, and when I was younger, I attempted suicide twice because of my size. So this book really opens up to them on how I actually build my confidence through the strength of my grandmother, who she passed away years ago, but she was the ultimate curvy woman to me, and she showed me how to love myself. And this book really shows people the stories and the experience I had and how I had to continue to channel her through me even after her passing.
Right.
And I really give people insight of what I've been through, because people always have the perception when you're a public figure that your life is perfect and you don't struggle. And this book lets them know I am a real human being and I have had struggles.
Right.
Lovely.
That's incredible.
She's a rock star.
Yes, she is. I was watching this show, and it was about young women and older women who are getting their butts injected. And with them, it made them look even bigger. So even the ones who were getting these butt injections and getting bigger, their self-esteem wasn't even there, because it's like now they're killing themselves just to get a full figure. So when you're dealing with young women, how do you even approach that situation?
I actually had a young woman inbox me, and it was when waist trainers were really big. So a company gave me a waist trainer, and I was wearing it, couldn't breathe half the damn time, but was wearing it. And she contacted me. She was 16, and she said, I saw you with the waist trainer, and I think I need one too. And it really made me stop in my tracks to realize these young girls are paying attention to what I'm doing.
Right.
And I told her, you don't need it because your body is still developing and you're perfect the way you are. So that moment made me stop wearing a waist trainer.
Right.
Because to me, it's like, I don't want a young girl. They already have enough pressure as it is with social media and thinking, filters make people think that's reality when it's not.
Right.
And so for me, it's more like teaching the young girls that your body is still changing. When you have kids, your body is going to continue to change. But if you don't love yourself on the inside, it doesn't matter what your body looks like, because you're never going to be happy.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Wow. That was profound.
Yes, it was.
It is. At what age did you realize that you wanted to just be happy within yourself? Because I know there's certain situations, whether you're dealing with a man or your parents or things at school. I know at a young age, there's like an echo. At a young age, you struggle with it. But as you get older, I want to know, at what age did you say, you know what, I'm comfortable in my own self, my own skin? When was that?
It was, for me, it was two times. It was the first time when I was 18. That's before I had my daughter. I had her when I was 21. So that's when I was just like, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was small waist, curvy, rocking mini skirts, bikini top. You couldn't tell Brady J nothing when she was 18. And then when I had my daughter, I gained 60 pounds. So, and being 21, my body changed in a way I wasn't used to it. And then I was in an abusive relationship, and suffering from postpartum depression. So all these things. And then once I got free of that, the depression, the ex-husband, I started falling in love with me. And I just started working out more. And I was down to a size 12. And that's when I said, okay, I love myself at this size. Right. I love curvy. I never want to be a size 2, 6 or whatever. And I was that size at one point when I was pregnant with my daughter, because I had morning, noon, and night sickness. And I got from a size 14 to a size 6. And I looked like a damn crackhead. And I was like, I don't like bones now. And I was like, ew, this is not me. So it was when I was 18, and then again when I was in my 20s, when I realized I just love Brandy. Right. And after I had my son when I was 30, that's when I got into the industry, because I was just frustrated with the lack of fashion options they had for curvy plus size women. Right. And I was also frustrated with them not showing us having a lifestyle.
Right.
So,
yeah.
That, for me, it was, and I was the biggest with my son. After I had him, I was a 22, and I just lost the weight. Right. And I just said, I'm going to do this, because I just want all women to know that, first of all, we're not meant to be all the same size.
Absolutely.
Yes, exactly.
I love the fact that God blessed me with a small waist, baby making thighs, and a big butt.
Right.
Baby making thighs.
Baby making hips.
Exactly.
Girl, I mean, these hips I've got trouble over the years. But it's, and I tell people I don't have, he didn't bless me with big breasts, but I had to love myself and be like, it's okay.
Right.
Because I have an older sister who was 300 pounds, and she had that surgery. I forgot the surgery that for her stomach.
Gastric bypass.
So she went from 300 pounds to like 100 pounds, and it just doesn't look right on her. But it is not happy because mentally she's not happy.
Wow.
So that makes me know that it doesn't matter what size you are. It starts with you. You have to love yourself no matter what.
Right.
And it's hard because there's days I wake up like, oh my God, look at this extra roll. And I'm just, okay, it is what it is. I mean, my man ain't complaining, so why should I complain?
Exactly. Well,
just change your outfit. Just change your outfit.
Well,
Loose fitting clothes works every time.
We definitely want to thank you for. Can you hear me? Thank you for tuning in and giving us your side of the story as far as how you are where you are right now and helping these individuals out in the communities. So can you please let everyone know where they can find you?
Yes, you can follow Lux Curves on all the social media platforms. That's LUXE Curves with a K, and that's on all of our social media platforms. And then Brandy Curvy J, Brandy with 2 E's, Curvy with a K, J, and that's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. Very easy to find. And we'll be in New York in 2 weeks for New York Fashion Week, covering a lot of New York shows and doing amazing interviews. And we have a couple events coming up at the end of the year, so you can always just find us on social media.
Perfect.
Love it.
Thank you. You guys
Thank you so much, Brandy.
All the best to you.
Alrighty.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is.
It would have been nice to have her and LaTanya on the same show.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely.
I'm okay with the double positivity,
Right.
Back to back. So that works for me. Especially since I'm a curvy woman.
Hey, we all are. You guys,
Anyway,
boy.
La.
Well, yes. That's it. Or am I going to play? What are we doing?
You're going to take us into our break so we can get to our kissable nights.
This is your girl, Lala. You can find me on Missy K Loose Lip Show on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. This has been incredible. And up next, we are going to deal with the beautiful ladies with kissable nights and dating after 50.
We'll be right back.
Girl, I only fuck with you. You should know that about me. You could hit me anytime. Don't take that lightly. Home alone, you should invite me. I got the herb, we can light it. Smoke till we fuck each other. I mean, smoke, drink, and fuck each other. Girl, it's up to you. Yeah, it's all on you. Choose on what you wanna do. Make it happen, make it true. And I'm trying to hold on. I'm yearning for you. So let me know when you're alone. Tell me if you need to smoke, baby. I could. Let me you need my stroke. I'm your way to go. I could. I could. I could. I could. Baby, I could. I could. Whenever you need my stroke, I'm your way to go. Baby, I could. I could. Yeah, I could pull up on you. I could pull up on you. Hey, I could pull up on you. I could pull up on you. Yeah. Girl, I'm sitting outside, texting you that I've arrived. Baby, can I come inside? Girl, you've been all on my mind. Feeling the temperature rise. Got the fire in your eyes. If you want it, you can ride. Over in your bedroom tonight. Girl, it's up to you. Yeah, it's all on you. So tell me what you wanna do. And I'm trying to hold on. I'm yearning for you. Let me know when you're alone. Tell me if you need to smoke, baby. I could. I could. Let me you need my stroke. I'm your way to go. I could. I could. I could. I could. I could. I could. Let you be my stroke. I'm your way to go. Baby, I could. I could. I could. Yeah, I could.
and welcome back to the Missy K's Loose Lip Show. That was Mellow T. Pull Up
beautiful.
On Ya. I like that song.
Yes,
Y'all like
nice.
that?
I loved it.
So we're doing something a little different. We've been doing it, but I'm going to make it public now. We're actually going to start featuring a lot of these new artists, because that was the whole purpose of us doing Missy K's Loose Lip Show, and we kind of got away from it. So I want artists to submit your music. Can we at least get some clean music? I was listening to some of that stuff. I was like,
wait.
just I don't want to limit it to R&B and neo soul.
Right.
But if you submit me some hip hop, give me the clean version. Give me a radio version. I know you got it in you. Anyway, Lady D's.
Yes.
How are you?
I am good.
Let's rock and roll.
Why?
Because I said so. Because here I'm the boss.
She really thinks she's grown. Right?
Because here I'm the boss. Outside this door, nope, I'm not.
Not at all.
Good evening, and welcome to the Missy K's Loose Lips show with these crazy women. And welcome our male perspective.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What was all that?
The males.
Right.
Leslie,
We got a new sponsor.
Oh, we gotta think that.
what happened?
So we got a new sponsor.
We gotta think that.
I'm like, what you talking about? I'm like, what?
She looking.
Maybe. Anyway, I want to talk to the young women today.
Okay, I'm young.
Me too.
I am so sick and tired of hearing women who go out with these men and after the first date they automatically assume they're in a relationship.
All right.
What is
Oh,
that?
I'm sorry. Dudes
What
do
is
it
that?
too.
Dudes
do it too.
I think it's different.
I'm telling you, they do it too.
No, I think it's different for dudes. I think that for dudes, especially if you give it up early, right, and you do it right, they don't come till they get tired. It ain't so much as they think they're in a relationship.
Okay.
They just kind of want seconds and thirds and fourths until they don't want it anymore.
Okay.
But with women, they start getting their feelings all involved after the first date. They go into these relationships, into these meetings with these guys, first greet and meet or whatever, and that's their mindset.
Yeah, they want you to change your face.
This is going to be my next man. You don't even know this dude. Right, and then when you start taking on that persona, then you start calling and texting, and then when he don't text you back, all of a sudden you upset,
right?
Because you think that he just dogs you out. No, you dogged yourself out because you went into this situation automatically assuming something that you should not.
Okay.
I think the first thing is that you need to, when we go into these relationships in the beginning, we're meeting people, go in with an open mind. You're looking for a friend. A friend. Not a lover, not a boyfriend. Right. So you're open for anything. So if you do that, then you don't get caught up in some foolishness,
right.
Or some fool that's going to beat your head in or whatever. But we go in with the wrong mindset. And a lot of it, I shouldn't say this, but a lot of it, I think, is the fathers. I blame the fathers. I do.
Okay.
I blame the fathers because I think fathers need to teach their daughters early on what's a good relationship.
Leslie,
what does it look like?
How many daughters you got?
I got one.
How old is she?
She's 3 and a half.
See? So by the time she gets like 5, you need to start dating your daughter.
Definitely.
Taking your daughter to dinner.
No, she's right.
Taking your daughter to dinner, reinforcing your daughter, telling your daughter how beautiful she is, how smart she is. Because if you don't do that, some other fool's gonna come along and gonna tell her those things, and it's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah, but at the same time too, I feel like it's both. It's not just the fathers.
Right.
Fathers have a big role in it as far as like making sure that she's the apple of his eye, the queen, and teaching them that.
Right.
But also, I feel like a mother is supposed to teach her daughter that just because a guy tells you that you're cute and you're smart and you're pretty or whatever, that you don't just go sleep with them.
And that's true.
You see what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
And they need to reinforce that actions speak louder than words. That's what I always tell my son. Like if you're doing something and you keep just telling me, like sometimes my son, I'll tell him to go go upstairs, brush his teeth, and he's like, I'm doing it, Daddy, I'm doing it. I come back 5 minutes later, he's still sitting there.
Right.
I'm like, you're not doing it because your actions aren't, that's why you're getting in trouble, because your actions aren't showing what your words are. It's not matching up to your words.
Right.
So it's the same thing with women. I feel like you need to teach your daughter, just because I could come around, and we probably all did this when we were younger, go to girls and be like, yeah, I love you, you cute, you this, you that, just to get some stacks. And and if she bid for it, then,
But isn't that where you're supposed to set the standard for your child? 'Cause
Exactly.
You are her first love.
Thank
so
you.
whatever you do, she's not gonna look for her dad out there because she has one at home. But that next man is not gonna be able to come to her and say, I can do this. She's gonna like, no, because I know my dad taught me something different, and I got my dad at home. So his standards has got to be definitely high because you set those standards for them.
Right. But what I'm saying is it has to be both.
Well, that's true, but what we talking about the fathers? We ain't talking about the mamas.
Because a lot of women are raising daughters by themselves.
Right.
So what if there's no father figure in the house?
I agree, and that's a whole other circus.
Then you have the uncles.
A lot of mothers are raising little whores,
Right.
and not ladies.
Yeah.
But again, if the father is involved, the father can balance that thing out.
Yeah, definitely.
He can give her a vision of what
say
it
that all
should
the
be
time.
like.
We were blessed with a mother and a father, and both of those roles are required.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
And I say it all the time. Like when I got a divorce, we didn't get along with each other, but we told each other in the beginning, like, look, we may not be good husband and wife, but we're going to commit to
Absolutely.
be
Good
co-parents.
Exactly.
Because it takes both. I don't care. I don't want nothing from you. I just want to make sure that you're in my children's life because they need both parents.
Exactly.
Especially in this world today. Jesus.
Yeah, because the mother can teach her how to be a lady and how to do some girly things. But again, there are a bunch of girly girls out there who has no idea of what a real man or real relationship looks like, how a man should really treat her. Because sometimes the mothers, their input is kind of slanted, right?
Yeah.
There's no real balance.
Right.
Maybe from hurt.
Right.
They've been hurt before,
Right.
or they know other people have been hurt,
Right.
so they have to add that little twist in
Or
there.
you got the daughters
that
that
kind of taints it.
some kind of jealousy thing with them. Oh, my mom's just jealous and she don't want me to be with him. Yeah,
And
we get
especially
that too.
if she's a young, beautiful thing like a teenager. Teenagers actually think their mothers are jealous of their little stanky butts.
That's true.
They really do. It's
reality.
That seriously. So she just hate them because I'm young and she's not young
Right.
anymore.
Right.
How can you even spit that out of your
Don't live
mouth?
your life vicariously through me.
Oh my god.
Definitely.
I'm not, boo.
I just want
I'm just trying to be your grandmama.
to direct our daughters, in a different path. Even if you're not in the home with the daughter, I think that the fathers need to be present.
Absolutely.
And I understand that sometimes they can't because mothers use their children as pawns.
Say it again.
Which is so ignorant because you're hurting nobody but the child.
Exactly. Amen.
Right? Because eventually the man going to get fed up. Most of them will get fed up and just move on.
Yes.
Right.
But then you make it seem like it's just the father because he just took off. No, you ran him off because you would not let him be a part of his daughter's life or his son's life for that matter.
Right.
But in this case, the father needs to be in his daughter's life. You need to protect your daughter. It needs to start early.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
And 3 is not too young, Leslie.
I'm just saying they're not in the house, but
Right.
as far as my daughter, we go on Jamba Juice dates.
Yeah.
The little 3-year-olds are a little rambunctious for men to be taken out. They're a handful.
Yeah, they are.
That's why I said maybe like about 5.
It's okay. 3.5 is all right.
Go with him, Haley.
But if you want to know if you're in what type of relationship you're in, first of all, if you are just a hookup, most likely you're not going to see him on Saturdays and Sundays.
Oh.
Okay, that's reserved for the real chick.
real one.
No, seriously, you're not a priority.
Right.
You need to understand
more
that.
time
If
on
you're
your
not
back.
spending time with his friends and he's not introducing you to any of his friends or anything like that, you're just a hookup. Okay? And if you're getting those spontaneous calls at 7 o'clock in the evening, that means his girl is busy and he want to hook up with somebody for something else, guess who's he calling? Guess who's going to be laying up his bed at 11 o'clock at night and then kicked out
We call ours.
until the next time.
Right.
It's real talk. If he's not involving you in what parts of his life, like you're not having conversations about does not care what goes on in your life or sharing with you what's going on in his life, you're probably just a hookup. He's not going to be calling you back. If he's not calling you once or twice a day or texting you every now and then to check on you or whatever, you're a hookup.
You're a hookup.
No, seriously. And I'm hearing these stories over and over and over and again. I'm trying to talk to these young women like, I don't get it. Why are you trying to make something fit that's not made to fit in the first place?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He probably put it
They got
on.
these new songs out, saying that they just need you for the weekend, and you can have them during the week. So a lot of these girls,
they're accepting that.
That's not cute.
Flipping the script.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
No, you need to
get off of that script.
I heard the song and I was listening to it, and I'm like, for the weekend, I looked at my wife like, I mean, is this cool? Is this what we can do these days?
No.
Right.
But but that's what's happening in these younger.
They're accepting it.
Because it's okay to,
be the side chick.
Right.
If you're not standing up for who you are and what you think your worth is, nobody else can do that for you but you. And I assure you, if you don't know and you're not sure because you were not raised properly, you need to go somewhere and find some books or find something to try to tap into something that's going to put you in a different direction. Because it's like you say these men are mistreating you or they're using you. No, you're doing it to yourself. Because the signs are there.
Right.
The signs are there. You just choose to ignore them. And then when you don't call, you keep calling. Why?
Negative. Right. That's right. Take us home, Lady D.
I want to go home.
You can't.
This has been Mother Lady D's.
Medea Lady D's.
And Kissable Nights. I do it because I love you and I want us to do better. I really do.
Yes.
You can find me on Lady D's on Kissable Nights on Instagram and Twitter, and Dorothy Drew on Facebook. We're going to take a short break, and after we return, we're going to be hooking up with my baby. I'm sad.
You gotta smile.
The beautiful, the smart, the funny Miss Haley B.
Woo woo. Get them.
Stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
We have arrived at our destination. It's rest.
Hey, the little shawty, where your head at? You gotta show me where your bread at. Hey, the little shawty, where your head at? That ain't enough, boy, where the rest at?
I'ma show you how to turn a bag into a boat. I fly first class, never in a coach. Oh,
Hey, the little shawty, where your head at? You gotta show me where your bread at.
I'm just addicted to money. I'm just addicted to flossing. I'm just addicted to bossing. You won't do work, you just watch it. Y'all just addicted to gossip. Young chick getting money, got options. I'm so in love with my dollar bill. I don't know how broke feels.
Hey, the little shawty, where your head at? You gotta show me where your bread at. Hey, the little shawty, where your head at? That ain't enough, boy, where the rest at?
I'ma show you how to turn a bag into a boat. I fly first class, never in a coach. Oh,
Hey, the little shawty, where your head at? You gotta show me where your bread at.
I'm just addicted to flashy. I'm just addicted to classy. I'm just addicted to fashion. This year that new Kim Kardashian. I see you still wearing that last year. It's either credit or cash here. Red on my beat like I'm foreign. Y'all probably still rocking Jordans. Balenciaga, Louis Prada, Chanel and YSL. I pop bands to pop tags and you mad cause I'm swagging.
Hey, the little shawty, where your
Hey,
head
the little shawty, where you
at? You
headed?
gotta show me where your bread at. Hey, the little shawty, where your
Show
head
me
at? That ain't enough, boy, where the rest at?
I'ma show you how to turn a bag into a boat. I fly first class, never in a coach. Oh,
Hey, the little shawty, where your head at? You gotta show
you care? Bitch niggas. I can't say that.
Okay. Oh, yes, okay.
And welcome back to the Missy K's Loose Lip Show. See, this is what happens when you live.
We gotta get it together.
You gotta remember.
Sorry.
It is what it is.
I apologize.
Welcome, Haley B.
Hi, guys.
This is our Get Lipped.
How are you?
We're good. How are you? Your hair doing some weird stuff.
I was doing some things. It was mind of its own. Get lipped. So, welcome to my segment, Get Lit.
Well, thank you.
I have a sad surprise to my viewers tonight.
What?
This is my last show.
Aww.
I have to go.
I almost dropped a tear.
Oh my God.
Right.
I have to go to college, people.
Well,
Okay.
congratulations.
I'm not your baby anymore.
Whatever. You will always be my baby,
Definitely.
honey. You will always be my baby.
I'm joking. I'm joking. So you can pack my bag.
Okay. Ready to go.
Hi, Leslie.
Go.
Hey, how you doing?
Start college on Monday, so you know how that is.
You're going to have fun, though. You're going to have fun.
I'm so nervous. But, so first of all, I'd like to say, thank you for trying to make a huge impact on our community and youth, because I do look at my peers today and I look at them like, we do need to change, because I turn around and everybody wants to be a gangbanger or somebody that they're not. Mm-hmm. And I want to appreciate you for trying to make a change on us.
Well, thank you.
Oh,
so
my bad.
Thank you. So, okay, I'm into poli-sci, political science, of course. But I just turned 18, and I'm able to register to vote. So, my question to you is, why would I be voting for an assemblyman? Like, what is an assemblyman? Like, what is his role?
Well, yeah, a lot of people don't know what an assemblyman is, but it's basically.
I hope you do.
Right. Right. But basically, what it is you're one part of a body of. Well, you have Congress, right?
Yes.
So it's basically the same as Congress. You have the upper house and the lower house.
Okay.
State assembly is the lower house. You have 80 representatives. Mm-hmm. And then the state also has a state senate, which has 40 representatives. Then you have the governor, and that's the body of legislators. So basically, we make up laws that help people in their day-to-day lives for the state of California, the entire state.
So if you had to make, like, one law right now, what law would you make?
One law?
One law.
One law. Well, actually, I have, like, 2 laws I would make.
Okay.
Give me 2. It's a special
But it's really
one.
1.5. So, the first law, I would, and I'm very big on this, and this is a serious topic for me, but it's basically criminal justice reform.
Yes.
I want every police officer in the state of California to go through training, cultural training, just etiquette training, just customer service training, and I want everybody to have body cams. I know I'm talking about police officers, of course, to have body cams and be basically trained to deal with civilians and minorities. So this way, a lot of us blacks and browns aren't getting shot in the streets because of because of lack of training, if that's what the case is.
Right.
And then my second fantasy one, I actually just saw it saw it on Instagram, is making it a felony to call the police on black people when they're not doing anything.
Well, let's go. Let's go.
I was like,
I'll sign in.
I'll sign up for that one.
That one needs to be federal. You know
Seriously.
I'll sign that one right now.
Yes.
I'm all for that one.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that's big.
Definitely.
Like, you know, me and my friends got arrested because they didn't do it. I didn't do it. That's what they all say, but all right, cool.
I saw something on Instagram where these kids got the police called them because they didn't have a permit for the lemonade stand.
Right.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, we saw that.
I was like, that person definitely needs to go to jail for that.
You know my goofy stuff. I'd be
Yeah.
like, so do you want to lemonade first or?
Right.
It's definitely gotten out of hand.
Yeah, I actually like that story because they called the health department on them, and the health department actually wound up
Bought them a permit.
buying the permit for
Right,
them.
right,
That was dope.
Right, that was
Really
dope.
good.
Yeah,
Honestly.
but yeah, they need to be ashamed of themselves. Heather B.
Okay. So, I know that you have your program, City of Youth.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you tell us more about the City of Youth?
Yeah, so City Youth kind of started in my aunt's apartment. I was actually sitting down. I was trying to figure out what I was in college, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do in life. Everything wasn't working. My dreams of the NBA didn't quite pan out. You know what I mean? And so I was sitting there, and my cousin Drew, we were sitting around talking, and I just had this thing where, actually, let me take it back. I actually went to church that day, and I was listening to my pastor, and he said something about, like, if God's going to make you a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper you could be.
Right.
So I was like, you know what, God, I'm tired of kind of doing it on my own. Let me know what you want me to do.
Listen.
And then it kind of hit me. It's weird because I don't really remember the timeline. It seemed like it happened the next day, but it could have happened 2 weeks, a month. I don't really remember, but it kind of just hit me. And I was like, we got to help kids out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
We got to help
Definitely.
the kids from where we grew up at. Because, and at first it was kind of selfish because I was like, I don't want them to grow up and start robbing me when I get rich.
Well, hey.
So it was like, because I was like, we're going to go into business. We're going to get Lambos and stuff.
Right.
Kids kind of wild these days. So then we kind of
I know.
You got loose lips.
they're kind of wild. You know what I mean? These millennials, I didn't even know it would get this far with the social media stuff. But,
Right.
It gets
but
that far.
it gets crazy. Like, so we actually started by saying we were going to open up group homes and have a foster care. That's where the actual full name of City of Youth is City of Youth Foster Care, because we wanted to have a group home and then just take in foster kids, and then this way we could actually mold them because we would be right there to kind of like guide them.
Good.
But it didn't pan out because when the recession hit, the county stopped giving out contracts.
Oh, yeah.
So this was about 2007. They stopped giving out contracts. So me and Drew went back to the drawing board, like, well, what are we going to do? And at first we really didn't know what to do, and we just started working with after-school programs. And then have implemented basketball programs, fashion shows, just stuff to keep the kids busy.
Yeah.
Right.
And we started seeing the retention of them coming back to school. So a lot of the principals would come to us and be like, well, they've been here every day because of the programs that you guys are implementing.
Dope.
Wow.
So about a year later, we were working at a school in Pasadena, and we were approached by Jamia Charter School. And they were saying, well, let's do a partnership. You guys can run your program, which is called Game Plan Program, setting them up for success. And we would be able to give out high school diplomas once they go through their curriculum.
Right.
Wow.
So after that,
That's
we
incredible.
got the school together and then opened up a couple more sites and then started graduating kids. So to this date, we have over 200 students that graduated from our program with high school diplomas.
That's
And
amazing.
we run
That
into
is
them
amazing.
like every week. Every week, Drew sending me a picture saying, like, look who I ran into. I ran into Kevin.
so
I ran into
cool.
such and such. And a lot of times they'll be like, you know what, Mr. Les, I didn't listen to you back then, but I was listening.
Right.
Like, I heard what you were telling me. Even if sometimes they kept messing up and they went, let's say they went to jail or they hit their head a few times. When they come back out, they're like, well, you guys were telling us the truth.
Isn't it lovely when it clicks?
Right.
When it clicks, yeah.
When it clicks, it's like, thank you, Jesus.
Right.
I mean, it's always like that. You know, millennials are hard-headed nowadays. I'm not gonna lie to you, I am hard-headed.
Right.
But to a lot of us, we have to learn by experience, too. You know, like, we hear all the stories, we see what y'all go through on TV, we hear it through our music. But in our reality, like, it's not that we want to experience it, but it's the fact that it does. Like, we do experience it. It does hit us. And we have to learn how to grow through it. Not go through it, but grow through it.
Right.
And that's something that we are hard of learning, like growing through things. Some of us just get stuck in the past and still stuck going through that cycle.
Right.
But when it finally does click to us, when you guys finally hit us in our mind, that's when we finally realize they was right.
Right.
You know?
I try to teach a lot of our students that a wise person learns through other people's experiences.
Yes.
My mom used to always tell me, like, I'm doing this for you because I don't want you to go through the same hurts that I went through because it's painful and sometimes you don't come back from those hurts.
Right.
So it's better if you see somebody stumble and fall, or if I went through that path and I fell already, then, and I'm telling you, and I'm teaching you, it's wise to listen.
Right.
Because you'll either way, you're going to figure out the answer.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you turn 40 and either your life is in shambles or you see your friend's life in shambles, you're like, wow, I'm glad I dodged that bullet.
Right.
Or damn, why didn't I dodge that bullet?
Right.
So,
Yeah. I can say, I wasn't the perfect youth, growing up. I wasn't. And I tell James and I talk about it all the time. I wasn't perfect, but one day it clicked. But you got to keep trying.
And that's all that matters when it clicks.
Yes.
I was perfect. I'm going to just say I was perfect.
I almost pulled your braids. I almost did like this.
But you still want your kid to do better than what you've done.
Yeah,
but I'm still going to say I was perfect. I didn't get in trouble.
I'm sorry, Black Storm. What did you just say?
Black Storm, right? Black Storm.
Get in trouble.
I never got in trouble. I'm a Black Storm, but I never got in trouble.
Even when you telling them different things, they still want to do it on their own and find themselves. So it's like, okay, I've given you the blueprint, so it's for you to either follow it or design your own.
I think that's like the greatest gift of being the oldest child. Thank you. Like telling my brothers, like, okay, if you do this, you're gonna go to jail. If you do this, you're gonna get suspended. If you do this, you're gonna get expelled. If you do this, it's gonna happen.
Right.
And
if
it's
you
funny.
do this, mama gonna beat you.
I say that too. But and then she not gonna visit you in jail. So she really not. She said it herself. I have it in quotes
so many times.
But I do have it in quotation marks.
Oh, she's not. Okay.
It's there.
She's not visiting you.
I'm not visiting you in jail.
Don't ask for care packages.
It's there. Exactly. Grandma will. Well, that's questionable. Anyway. No, but me telling my brothers that, they're boys. Boys are going to be boys.
Yes.
And I've settled with that. But every time they come back home, man, this happened. Man, that happened. Man, I just got suspended. Man, I just got into a fight. I told you.
Right.
Mom told me, I told you. That's how that's how it goes.
Right.
She make the rules, I enforce them, y'all listen.
Exactly.
Y'all want to be hard, that's cool.
Take us home, Haley.
Let's go.
I'm sorry. But Leslie, where can we find you on social media?
Social media, you can find me at Leslie Hagen Morgan on Instagram. Leslie for State Assembly on Facebook. And you can go to www.lesliehagenmorgan.com for my website.
Do you have any more events coming up?
Yeah. We'll give you a list of that. This weekend we're going to be at the Power Fest on Manchester and Manchester and Vermont. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be out there just talking to constituents, trying to get them, to win their votes and choose me as their next state assemblyman.
It's time for another group trip, Mother.
Okay.
Got it.
Nice.
So this has been my segment, Get Lit with Haley B. You can find me on Instagram at heyhey.6, HAIHAI.6, and on Facebook at Haley Bell Lindsay, BALE, not BELL, not the Beast.
We're going to miss her. We are definitely going to miss her.
Oh, yes. And I love you guys. Thank you for viewing my segment. Hopefully the next person can get lit like I can.
And nobody's going to be there. Nobody's going to be there.
No, they need their own if it happens. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to hear from our future assemblyman on what he has planned for us this coming election. So we'll be right back.
Every time I think I'm over you, you come back and do everything you're supposed to do, and I like that. I'm sorry sometimes if I made you mad on purpose. I just wanna know if we can work this out. I'm worth it, baby. You're special to me. There is no other like you. Gonna ride with you eternity. Baby, take me, I'm yours. Treat you like my private island. I sit down, we talk, I'm wrong, you're right. I just want you to hold me through the night, and we can work it right. Keanu Roy, Bonnie and Clyde, you miss
Well, I can't stay mad at you, but I'm just trying to play it cool. Now tell me what's a thug to do. So many things I want to say to you. I want you for certain, but your love I'm searching. Lord knows you deserve it. You give life purpose. Whenever you're near, I'm nervous. Swagged out the Perkins. Girl, you deserve it. I wanna know right now. Are you worthy? Girl, are you worthy? Are you worthy, God? I wanna know right now. Are you worthy? Are you worth it? Yeah, are you worthy? Are you worthy, God?
Welcome back to the Missy K's Loose Lip Show. I'm with my peeps, y'all.
Yes.
We got a politician in the house, so we have to be a little reserved today.
Yeah, okay.
Lala couldn't talk about eggplants and basketballs.
Man.
And
Man. I was like, what?
I didn't even get that.
You didn't get that?
No?
Picture it. Close your eyes and just picture
Did you
it.
get my emoji message?
I didn't get your emoji message.
You guys didn't get it?
I got it.
You got it.
I
Thank
got
you,
it.
Nasty.
Hey.
Leslie.
Yeah.
Leslie. So, the election is coming up, November 6th.
November 6th.
So, what should we expect from you? Or what should the people? What do you want the people to know about you?
I mean,
'Cause we're all in your business now. You know, let's go back to your business.
this is my business.
Let me see if I have more questions left.
Well, I come from a diverse background, so they could expect that. A little bit about my story. I actually grew up in Ghana, West Africa.
Okay.
I came here when I was 7 years old, moved around to LA, and then ended up on the east side of South LA.
Okay.
Back then it was called South Central, now it's South LA. And just growing up, went to school, left, went to college, went to University of West Georgia, ended up at Harvard for a semester. And I came back, and really I don't want to be a politician. My issue is coming back and making sure that things are right here. Right. My grandma always used to tell me when I was younger, like, doesn't matter how much money you make in this world. If you're born in a house and there's a frame that's crooked and you pass away and that frame is still crooked, you pretty much failed in life. It doesn't matter about what else you've done, all the successes, all the cars, all the whatever. So my goal is to come back and fix what's going wrong with South LA. 50% dropout rates in the schools.
Right.
You know, so we started a school. We brought 2 charter schools to South LA and Watts, and now other organizations are bringing schools. I work for the GRID program. Got a table on the east side. GRID is Gang Reduction Youth Development. And that's through the mayor's office. And we actually got a table where OGs were like talking to each other, making sure that they weren't just going out and retaliating when something happened. We had a table like that together at shout out to Curran Price. He actually used to used to hold that at his offices. And my goal is to bring up the quality of life in South LA.
Right.
Because I've been to a lot of other places in the world. I've been to London, Morocco, France, and they have a better quality of life over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we don't in South LA. And something has to change, because I don't understand how we could live in one of the richest areas in the world, right? The richest country in the world, $20 trillion in GDP, and we're still struggling to feed ourselves and take care of ourselves. That means there's something systematically wrong.
I agree.
And I feel that if I get up there and I could help be a voice for people in South LA, and I'm not just going up there for myself, because I at this point in my life, I don't really need anything. I just want to go and make my community proud and be the voice.
Definitely.
I love it. That's dope. We support you.
Well, I appreciate it. I need all the support I can get. Like,
definitely do.
Go out and vote. Tell your friends about it. Tell them about the lawn signs. I pull up and put up lawn signs. Like, I'm in the community every day. I knock on doors every single day. So if somebody wants me to come to their house and talk to
I think I saw you doing some gardening and painting.
And that's a lot of stuff we do through City Youth, and just just through the community. Like we have a community garden on 52nd and Compton. We're on 52nd and Main. We have a community center there. We just do a lot of stuff through the community. We just had a backpack giveaway last weekend on 62nd and San Pedro, where we teamed up with an organization called B2 Rock, Brothers Taking Responsibility of Our Community. And we block off 62nd Street, San Pedro, and we give out backpacks, haircuts. If you need your nails done.
I needed 4 backpacks and 2 haircuts. I should have called you.
Man. I'm sorry, did you say nails?
Yeah, if you need your nails done, we got, because a lot of times when you're going back to school, growing up in that area, you really don't have too much. So if we could subsidize certain things, I know it seems small or not what's the word I'm looking for? Materialistic, but sometimes it's a confidence builder.
Yeah,
you know what
it
I mean?
is.
To have a young lady have her nails done, her hair done, something nice in a backpack to go to school. Now you want to go and learn. You want to go to school.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So just things like that. We just want to uplift our community.
That's cool.
That's good.
So not to cut you off, but for those who don't know about what you do in the community, how are you getting it out there? How do someone, for instance, if they on the other side of LA and want to be a part of what you're doing, how can they be a part of that?
And that's why I'm glad that Drew introduced me to you guys, because we've done a terrible job of advertising ourselves. Because what we started doing was we were just so focused on doing the work, and the work was coming in so much. We had kids coming in and things like that, so we just focused on the work for the last 15 years and never really thought about marketing ourselves and the outreach and things like that.
You definitely need that.
Now we're kind of going around letting people know, hey, this is what we do,
and that's why you're here.
That's why we're here. This is what we do. This is what we've been doing. People were so mad at me when I started the campaign, because they're like, you've done all of this stuff, but you got, I don't want to say, can I cuss on this show?
Sure.
You have shitty pictures. No real video.
I agree.
That's ironic.
So
they clean for him.
We got so caught up in the time. I did not realize it's time for us to go. So we want to thank you for coming on to the show today and sharing with us. I'm convinced. Okay. I'm convinced you're down to earth. We need that in the community now. We do. So thank you. And thank you, Drew, for bringing them on. Thank you, Lady D's. Thank you, Brandy Curvy J. For calling in. Shouts out to Poetess and the Morris Media Studios. And make sure you check them out if you need a home for your podcast. And Huntley. And our producer, Kevin Nelson, and our other producer, Mr. MVIN, who we love and appreciate you guys, and we miss you terribly. But we up out of here. Lala Young, Haley B, Missy K, 2 Fingers in a Biscuit. We'll holla.
Missy K Show. Missy K Show. Missy K Show. Questions, interviews, gossip, current news, movie, TV, radio.